Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about frizz. I've been having some frizz issues for the past couple weeks now. And I think it's because the humidity is really setting in and I just need to get a hold of what my hair is doing right now. So I did a lot of research and I found some things that I was doing wrong and I corrected, and now my hair looks super shiny and it looks very defined. And so I wanted to share some of these tips with you guys. So there are 4 main culprits for why your hair is frizzy. It could be that your hair is super dry. It could also be just the weather itself. Whenever it's humid outside, your hair is trying to reach for the water that's in the air. Humidity will make your hair very frizzy. You could also be making some styling errors. And we can kind of get into that a little bit later. And lastly, which is something I was guilty of doing, is not sealing enough moisture in your hair. So for dryness, if your hair is dry, it's just gonna be frizzy automatically. So if you're experiencing a lot of that, you should do a lot of deep conditioning. So once a week, you really need to do a deep condition. You can do a squish to condish, which is where you're in the shower, your hair is soaking wet, and you're just squishing your deep conditioner into your hair, and that'll help it really just penetrate more. And you can also keep the deep conditioner in your hair for like 20-30 minutes. If you have some time on your hands, definitely keep it in your hair for about an hour or so, and it'll really just soak in. If your hair isn't as curly as it used to be, or it's just really soft and mushy, you should definitely do a protein treatment after you deep condition. So in order to address the weather, you need to properly style and properly seal the moisture in your hair. So humidity is really gonna play a factor. If it's hot, it's humid. If it's been raining a lot, that's really going to affect how your hair is going to react to your environment. I tend to find that when it's drier outside, my hair just behaves better. So I have some tips and tricks for that. So the first thing you need to make sure you do whenever you do your hair on wash day, you need to make sure that your product is evenly distributed throughout your hair. It's very important, or else if you're just putting your product at the crown of your head, the crown of your head is going to be very smooth, and then the rest of your hair is going to be frizzy, or you might have frizz underneath, and it'll just be a mess. After you've evenly distributed the products in your hair, you need to make sure that you do not touch your hair after you're done styling it, which is super hard. I always find myself twirling my hair and touching it. It's just like a habit for me at this point, but it's very important to not touch your hair while it's drying. So for me to achieve this, like, I styled it, I didn't touch it. I actually watched a few episodes of Selling Sunset on Netflix. I love the drama and the gossip, but I watched that show for a few hours and let my hair air dry. And then after it air dried and it was still a little bit wet, I went ahead and diffused my hair and did it until it was pretty much dry. And that was around 10 or 11 p.m. So I just put my bonnet on top of my hair, and then this morning I separated my curls. That was for sure the best thing I could have done because my curls were completely dry. The bonnet had them totally protected, and it was just easy for me to pull my curls apart from each other. Another tip I would give is to actually apply your products when your hair is still wet. Do not apply products when your hair is dry, because it's already starting to frizz and you're just putting product on top of dry hair and it's not penetrating, it's not doing anything. So what you need to do is apply your product when your hair is damp or wet, depending on your hair porosity. I like to do it when it's wet but not dripping wet. So the main thing that I did that was totally different than my previous routine was actually incorporating more oil into the steps that I was taking. So I kept the argan oil in my steps. However, I wasn't using an oil to really seal in the moisture. I was just using a leave-in gel. So what I did after I put my cream and my argan oil and my moisturizer into my hair, I actually went ahead and got some coconut oil. I used Trader Joe's coconut oil. You can kind of use anything, but I used it. I scooped some with my hands out of the jar. I warmed it up into my palms of my hands and sort of covered my hair with it and raked my hair through with the oil and just evenly distributed it with my Demon brush. And after doing that, I went ahead and used my leave-in gel to sort of lock in everything. And so I let it sit after doing those certain steps, and I really saw a difference. And actually my hair is way more shiny than it's been in a long time, and I do not see the same frizz that I was seeing prior. I was very afraid of using coconut oil before because it's always been known to be very heavy and, you know, it's too much oil, it's too greasy, yada yada yada. But I find that it really works for my hair, especially since I colored my hair back in February and it's August now, so it's been many months. I have to go get it toned this week actually. It really needed it because my hair is a higher porosity than it was before. And when you have higher porosity hair, just like in my previous video about hair porosity, if your hair is higher porosity, then you need coconut oil in order to seal in the moisture. And besides all of those tips that I just gave you, there are some lifestyle tips that I would like to give as well, just in case you're not really following it or you're new to your curl journey. There are two main things you will need to change or continue doing. One is you need to start using a microfiber towel instead of a regular towel. Regular towels create a lot of friction because of the cotton, so you need to make a switch and do a microfiber towel. And you can buy them, they're pretty easy. You go to Amazon, you can go to Walmart, Target, you just go to the hair section, not the regular towel section, where you find like turban towels. I think that's one brand I actually use, Turban Towel, but just make sure you find a microfiber cloth to dry your hair. And then one last lifestyle tip that you need to incorporate is to use satin at night. So you need to use, whether it's a satin pillowcase or a satin bonnet or even a scarf if it can really stay on your head, but something that'll protect your curls at night, because your pillowcase, your regular pillowcase if you will, is cotton, and so it'll create friction at night when you're tossing or turning or if you're just laying down, and it also takes moisture out of your hair. Me personally, I don't use a satin pillowcase because the products like get on the satin pillowcase and then it gets on my skin, and then I just notice a lot of irritation. So I stick to using bonnets, and as your hair grows, you need to get bigger bonnets as you go, unless you're okay with like fluffing your hair out and having a little bit more frizz every day if you use a smaller bonnet. Another tip for me to give you is to actually have a spray bottle of water close by when you're styling your hair. So if your hair dries very quickly when you get out the shower, then you don't want to just put product on top of dry hair. You need to continue to wet it as you go through and style your hair in order to keep the frizz levels down and also just have a longer lasting hairstyle after wash day. All right, everyone. Well, I hope these tips help you. Let me know how it goes in the comments below. I know it's really helped me, especially now that it's August and it's just full on humidity and heat and a lot of sweating. So I hope this helps. Let me know what my next video should be. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.